The drama surrounding the Cleveland Browns has reached a breaking point, and at the center of it all is Kevin Stefanski, a head coach who suddenly finds himself on the thinnest of ice. What was supposed to be a season of stability, a chance to finally prove that the franchise was moving in the right direction, has instead turned into one of the darkest stretches in Browns history. 8 straight losses, stretching back to last season. 6 to close out the year, and now 2 more to open this one. And the way they've lost has only added fuel to the fire. Uncompetitive second halves, an offense that can't even sniff 20 points, and a fan base growing more restless by the week. As radio host Ken Carman put it bluntly, it feels like 50-0 out there, even when the scoreboard says otherwise. Offensively, this team has been nothing short of a disaster, and patience has all but run out. The whispers have turned into shouts. Reports now suggest that Stefenski and general manager Andrew Berry may not even last the season. Not the traditional "let's wait until January to evaluate" approach, but an in-season purge. A house cleaning so complete that it would send shockwaves through the entire organization. Anthony Lima, another Cleveland voice, summed it up with painful clarity. "The writing," he said, "is already on the wall. If things don't turn around quickly, both Stefenski and Berry could be gone before December. The real question now is not if, but when ownership decides to pull the plug." And when you look at the evidence, it's hard to argue with that sentiment. Week after week, the Browns' offense has sputtered like a car stuck in neutral, wasting the efforts of a defense that has been nothing short of elite. Every analyst agrees, this defense is championship caliber. But instead of competing for titles, the Browns are squandering one of the league's most suffocating units because the offense is dragging everything else down. Carman didn't sugarcoat it. The system itself is broken, he warned. It doesn't matter if you put Dillon Gabriel back there or give Shedeur Sanders a shot at the starting role, the results will be the same. Young arms might bring a spark, but in the current setup, even the most talented quarterback would struggle to shine. And that's the heart of the problem. It's not about one player anymore. It's about a scheme that has failed to deliver, and a head coach who can no longer explain why it isn't working. When Stefenski stepped up to the podium recently, facing questions about his offense's collapse, his words did little to inspire confidence. Yes, he acknowledged the rough patch. Yes, he admitted the upcoming matchup with the Green Bay Packers would be a serious test. But when pressed for specifics, he had none. Instead of clear answers, Stefenski offered vague platitudes about working hard and preparing for a great challenge. The silence between his words spoke louder than anything else. He didn't have solutions, at least none he was willing to share. And that silence left fans and analysts alike questioning whether he had any real answers at all. Mary Kay Cabot, one of the most respected voices covering the Browns, added her perspective, and it was no less damning. At the start of the year, the team had 3 objectives: build an elite defense, develop their quarterbacks, and create a smooth, functioning offense. Only one of those goals has been met. The defense is as good as advertised. The rest, a failure of execution, preparation, and leadership. Cabot pointed out the glaring lack of chemistry between Joe Flacco and his receivers, particularly Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman. Miscommunications, stumbling routes, passes falling incomplete. It all added up to an offense that looked completely unprepared. And in her view, that lack of preparation fell squarely at the feet of Stefenski and Berry. Why wasn't Flacco given more time in the preseason to establish rhythm with his weapons? Why did the coaching staff wait until the final 2 weeks of camp to even attempt to build timing with the starters? Those choices look indefensible now, with the offense falling apart in real time. And the bigger blunder, Cabot argued, may have been the decision to stage a 4-way quarterback competition in the first place. Instead of committing early, instead of allowing one leader to develop chemistry and confidence with the offense, the staff spread the reps thin, leaving everyone out of sync. It's a mistake the Browns should have already learned from, yet here they were repeating it again and paying the price. The result has been pure chaos. Kenny Pickett was traded away. Another quarterback was brought in and released just as quickly. Flacco was inserted, but without the groundwork necessary to succeed. And meanwhile, younger talents like Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel have been left waiting, caught in the uncertainty of a system that doesn't know which way it's heading. The quarterback carousel hasn't just hurt the offense, it's destabilized the entire team. And now, in a twist that makes this saga even more dramatic, reports suggest that Shedeur Sanders is weighing the possibility of leaving Cleveland altogether. Why? Because opportunity might be knocking in Cincinnati. The Bengals, who started the season 2-0, have suddenly been thrown into turmoil with Joe Burrow, sidelined by a turf toe injury that will require surgery. Burrow will be out for at least 3 months, possibly the rest of the season, leaving Cincinnati desperate for a solution. Rumors are swirling that they could view Shedeur as an answer. A young quarterback capable of stepping into a system with proven weapons and a stable infrastructure. And when you compare the situations, it isn't hard to see why Shedeur might be tempted. In Cleveland, he's trapped in a cycle of instability, stuck behind a carousel of quarterbacks, denied the reps and leadership role he needs to grow. In Cincinnati, even without Burrow, he'd be surrounded by elite receivers, a playoff-caliber roster, and a coaching staff that, unlike Stefanski's group, has already proven it knows how to build a consistent offense. For a young quarterback, it would look like the smarter opportunity, the path with fewer obstacles and more promise. But in Cleveland, all eyes remain on Stefenski. His seat has never been hotter, and every game feels like it could be his last chance to convince ownership that he deserves to stay. Each offensive misfire, each failed drive, adds to the evidence against him. And as the losses pile up, the pressure grows heavier by the day. Insiders and analysts agree on one thing: this is no longer just a rough patch. It's a crisis. A crossroads for both Stefanski and the Browns franchise. Either the offense finds a way to spark life immediately, or the team faces the likelihood of sweeping changes, coaches fired, executives dismissed, quarterbacks traded, and the entire direction of the organization reset before the season is even over. For Stefenski, the reality is harsh. His once promising system now appears to be failing the very players it was meant to empower. The chemistry isn't there. The preparation isn't there. And the answers aren't there. The Browns have been left with an elite defense carrying the weight of a broken offense, a front office scrambling to explain its decisions, and a head coach running out of time. The story in Cleveland is no longer about building toward the future. It's about survival. And for Kevin Stefanski, that survival may depend on more than wins and losses. It may depend on whether he can convince ownership that he still has control of a team that looks increasingly lost. So what do you think? Has Kevin Stefanski already lost his grip on the Browns, or does he still have what it takes to turn this offense around? Is it time for a complete shakeup in Cleveland, or should ownership give him more time to right the ship? And what about Shedeur Sanders? Should he stay and fight for his place in a broken system, or is a fresh start in Cincinnati the smarter move for his career? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's hear your take on what could be one of the most pivotal moments in Browns history. And if you want to stay on top of every twist and turn in stories like this one, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the drama as it unfolds.